Hey everyone, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star the Flippin' Hippo. Today is Thursday, October 8th, and I just wanted to pop on here real quick today to talk about a topic that is really hot right now. Everyone's talking about it. It's spreading like wildfire in all of the reselling communities, and my own messages and email have been blowing up for like 2 or 3 days now. And there also seems to be a lot of misconceptions and misinformation going around. So we're going to talk about the new required item specifics eBay has announced, and we're going to clear up some misconceptions and give out good information, and then hopefully everybody can move forward in a more positive light. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, we all have the absolute utmost 1000% right to be frustrated by it. Those of us that have been reselling long enough that we lived through Glitchapalooza in October of 2019 are probably pretty incensed that they would do this again in Q4. There is one saving grace, though, and we'll get to that. So eBay has announced that they are going to be having more item specifics on more items required. That means that these item specifics have to be put into the listings by the deadline, or you will be negatively impacted by your listings being pushed down in the search algorithm. If you don't have them filled out, you don't get seen. That's just how it is. But this is only for the required specifics. I see a lot of people talking about some of the item specifics that are on the list that just say suggested. Those are only suggested. You can even leave those blank. If they say suggested item specific, you guys, you can leave them blank with no negative impact towards you, your listings, or your placement in the search algorithm. However, if someone were to search for that item by that specific, you wouldn't show up for them. So if it's a suggested Australian shoe size and you don't put it in, anyone in Australia who's looking for their shoe size isn't going to see your listing if they specifically search for that. But other than that, you're not going to have any negative impact. However, if it's required, if it's a required item specific, it must be put in or you will be pushed down in the searches. But please don't panic because our deadline's not until February. And that's the one saving grace or the one piece of good news I have for you today. Yes, they dropped this announcement in Q4 again. No, they did not learn their lesson after last year, except for the fact they gave us 4 months to do this. So that's the difference between what happened last year and what's going to happen this year in 2020. Last year, when they announced that there were new item specifics that were going to be required to be filled out, they gave us a deadline of sometime in October. So right smack dab middle in the Q4, we were all scrambling to get these filled out. We had thousands of them, and the deadline was in October. So if you didn't have them filled out, you were screwed for Q4. Quite literally, you were being pushed down in the searches and you weren't able to be seen on Q4. Well, why is this a big deal? Why don't people just fill them out so they can be seen? Well, there's a reason why we refer to last October as Glitchapalooza on eBay. And this seems to be happening again this year. So folks would fill out the required item specifics. They would put all that information in. They would take all of this time out of their day to do this. Time is money in our profession, by the way. And then they would disappear. And then every day when you logged in, you would have a different amount of listings that needed these required item specifics put in. So today it could be 200, tomorrow it could be 500. And then Saturday you would log in and you would see 152, but by Monday you'd have 2,533. I'm arbitrarily pulling numbers out of the blue for an example, but that's what was going on last year. The number was constantly changing and people were reporting, and this happened to us as well, that you would go in and change them or fill them in or whatever, and then the next day they would be erased, like you never put them in. So people were very frustrated and very angry last year because not only were we taking precious time out of taking photographs and listing new listings and getting everything ready to sell more in Q4, we were using all that time to sit down and fill out all these item specifics, only to wake up the next morning and find that they had been erased, like you had never put that work in. And then when the deadline hit, a lot of people didn't have them filled out. So they were being pushed down in the searches as a result of not having them filled out, even though they'd already filled them out 1, 2, 3, or 4 times. So that was a big frustration last year. Like I said, they did kind of learn their lesson a little bit. They've given us 4 months, November, December, January. We have until February 22nd. So that's like 5 months almost to fill these out. And so come February 22nd, if you don't have them done, that's when you'll see the negative impact on your searches or where you place in the searches. So you don't have to scramble to get it all done now. And that's what I see people doing. And that is exactly why I wanted to sit down and make this video today and clear up these misconceptions and the misinformation. This does not have to be done until February 22nd. So you don't have to worry about it right now. You can absolutely, completely ignore it for all of Q4. And come January, when things are slowing down, we're just rounding the corner into New Year, into the first quarter of Q1, then you can sit down and do that. So that's my recommendation. Instead of scrambling around, stressing out, wasting your valuable time in Q4, our busiest time of year for resellers, and filling these out, just take a deep breath, ignore them. You can get to them in January and you'll be okay. You're not going to be negatively impacted in any type of way for not having required item specifics filled out before they're required, and they're not required until February 22nd. I'm going to share my screen with you in just a minute so you can see an email where I can confirm this date came straight from eBay, and then I'm going to show you where you can find out which ones of your items need these filled in. So again, the biggest misconception is that they have to be done now. No, nope, February 22nd. So you guys can all chill out, take a break. Don't even worry about it till Q1. I'm not. For one, Keith and I are absolutely not going to spend any of our time on these item specifics until they fix whatever it is that erases them. That constantly changes the number of items that need done. All of that crap that happened last year, that all needs to be fixed, because I'm not going to sit down and fill out a bunch of stuff that's going to be erased. It's just not going to happen. And again, this is Q4. I have better things to do with my time. So as long as my deadline's not till February, I'll start worrying about it in January when it's not Q4. And then the second biggest misconception I wanted to clear up today is the difference between the required and the suggested, because there's a ton of item specifics. They've added so many, and a lot of them, yes, are very silly. They don't make sense. I've heard that you have to choose a type of cuisine on Bibles and other antique books. I don't, last time I checked, I don't think anybody's eating Bibles. So I don't know why there's cuisine on Bibles, but hey, it's there. They've got the Australian shoe size, like I mentioned, and I'm not big on shoes. You guys know that they kind of skeeve me out, and I don't list a lot of shoes. But even the shoes that come brand new to me in a box with all these different sizes on them, I've seen UK, and I've seen US, and I've seen an England size or whatever, but I've never seen an Australian size. So I don't know how to find that, but it's there, but it's only suggested. So a lot of these new item specifics that seem arbitrary or silly or quite frankly stupid, if they just say suggested, you guys can ignore them. You don't have to put anything in there. There's a lot of people freaking out that keep putting NA or filling it in somehow with their own whatever they're going to put in there. I know someone in my group said they were asking for the author on all her Bibles, so she just started putting God, which I thought was pretty clever. But yeah, if it just says suggested, you don't have to fill it out. There'll be no negative impact on you. If someone actually searched for Bibles written by King James and you didn't have yours filled in with King James, yours wouldn't show up. But most people aren't searching for the ones that are just suggested. That's why they're not required. They're only suggested. And then you have until February. So let me share my screen with you real quick. Okay, so now you guys are looking at my screen, and I just took a little screenshot with the snipping tool of the email. New item specifics are available now. Providing detailed information about your listings by adding item specifics is a key part of making sure those listings show up in buyer searches. New required soon and recommended item specifics are available now for your new listings and available soon. Required soon item specifics need to be added by February 22nd, 2021. So after that date is when you won't be able to publish new, relisted, or revised listings in the following categories without the required item specifics. And then there's a list of the categories for you guys. And they are encouraging everyone to update the listings that have the missing required soon item specifics ahead of the deadline. But you have until February. So again, chill out. Just do your Q4 thing. You can deal with these in January. And then just the one other thing I wanted to show you guys today on the screen share. If you go to your Seller Hub on the back end under your tasks, now your Seller Hub might look different than mine because you can customize this. So your stuff might be in a different order, but just find the little block that says tasks that you usually go to for your print labels and ship. And then under that, in bold, it says suggested actions right here. And add soon to be required item specific should be under there. You can see I have 933. I had like 200 yesterday. The numbers are changing. Whatever glitched out last year when they did this is glitching out again. So until they fix all of that and they can guarantee that the time spent putting the item specifics in is going to be time spent well, because it's going to stay. I'm not going to touch them, but that's how you can find them. If you want to start on them now, you can. That's just go to your little block with tasks and go down, and you can click on that and work on them. And don't stress out too much, guys, because you have until February. All right, let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you have questions or concerns, don't forget to hit the thumbs up before you leave. It does really help the channel. And if you haven't already and you'd like to, please subscribe to the channel and help us feed a hungry hippo. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, or at Flippin' Hippos on all social media. Join our Facebook group. It's called Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. Free to join, really great group. There's a link down below for you to click on. Until next time, go be productive. Go do Q4 things and don't stress out about these item specifics and make money. As always, thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. Bye.